Yeah, it's beautiful today in Mumbai. I'm going to go out and get some food now. So basically you're me, but Indian, and I'm you, but British.
Yeah.
That sounds a bit rude, the fingers of truth. Where do you put your fingers, Faisal? Keep them away from me. Don't get checking my exhaust, matey boy.
Oh, you're turning 50 this year.
Yeah, I'm old, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm old.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I hate about this job, equipment. So I know someone who's had a problem with the gearbox on their Land Rover Defender, someone else with their engine.
You're not talking kindly about our car brands now.
Yeah. Ultimately, it's going to come down to Tata. How much are they going to stomach? At what point are they going to be like, get rid of it? So the Jimny is a car.
I have been seeing you when you were at Car Bio.
Hey, yes! Yeah, legend!
You get backlash from car brands?
Yes, certain manufacturers won't lend me cars.
So today with me, I have a car enthusiast, a very big car enthusiast, and Matt Watson.
Yeah, I was looking for the car enthusiast. I can't even say it, let alone be it. Yes. Hi, how you doing?
Firstly, thanks so much for coming to India. We are right now driving on the outskirts of Mumbai. We're going to Lonavala.
The roads are too bad for India. Honestly, the roads here are awful, aren't they?
But you tell me something. Have you been to India?
Yes.
You have?
Yes.
When did that happen?
About 7 years ago, I did a thing with Land Rover. They're doing a big celebration of, I think it was 50 years of Land Rover or the Range Rover, I don't know. And they drove a procession of cars from the plant in Solihull all the way to Mumbai, because obviously they're owned by Tata. So I went for part of the leg, which was from, where was it, from Delhi.
That's funny.
To Mumbai.
Because I came to the UK to celebrate 65 years of Land Rover.
That's it, 65 years.
Oh.
So you're better at this job than me. So you will have done the first leg in the UK. So they say for the Indians out to do the first leg in the UK.
Because it's an Indian brand.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
How do you feel about the fact that most of the car brands from the UK are no longer owned by the UK companies? Whether you talk about Mini, Bentley, Rolls-Royce.
Do I really care? It would be better if they were owned, I guess, by the UK, but we didn't go that way. We didn't manage to look after them, did we? They went bust and other people bought them. It's good though that people from all around, they built such good cars in the past that people all around the world wanted to own them. But if you take BMW as an example, you know, British Leyland got into a right old mess and just started to build some real shoddy cars. BMW takes this brand, and they really looked after it and did a great marketing job on it. The actual car, the new Mini, when it first came out in 2001, most of it had been designed and engineered by Rover. It had been done, but BMW finished it off and they did all the marketing for it.
But aren't British cars notorious for being not very reliable?
Absolutely.
Is
yeah,
it?
yeah.
Is it
British
true?
and Italian. Yes, like Land Rover has a very bad reputation, and I know quite a few people with Land Rovers, and they.
The new Range Rovers as well?
Yes. So I know someone who's had a problem with the gearbox on their Land Rover Defender, someone else with their engine.
You're not talking kindly about our car brands now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is your favorite
So
car
what
brand?
it is, so basically, I mean, it's Indian money that finances it, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's Tata money that finances it.
Yes, it is.
And it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Jaguar and how.
What do you think is going to happen to Jaguar?
Well, you told me, because ultimately it's going to come down to Tata. How much are they going to stomach? At what point are they going to be like, get rid of it?
Get rid of it by giving it to some Chinese brand?
Maybe, or who want, I mean, really? I'm not sure any Chinese brand will necessarily want it.
No, they do want
Do
it.
they?
They have like 120 brands. They want to go global.
Uh-huh.
Have you heard of this brand called MG?
Who?
MG.
MG, I know MG.
Morris Garages.
Yeah, because that was
just one.
British.
Yeah, was British.
And they changed the name though, so it was Morris Garages, and in China it means modern gentleman.
Is it?
That's what it. So when they first bought it, they did a thing with over in Longbridge yet again. Sorry, Longbridge in the Midlands, which is where I'm from, where they announced, right, yeah, we bought it. We're great. We're going to do this with the brand, and MG now stands for modern gentleman. And all the British motoring journalists almost were just sick in their mouths. It was that bad. It's like, what?
Oh, that's funny, because in India they pretend to be British brand.
Yeah.
They always say they're British brand.
No, it's all built in China.
No, I know. They took us to China twice.
Yeah.
And all the Chinese people were like, oh, this is Chinese. We have made it. This is our brand. But they just know that there's a very anti-China sentiment in India.
Yeah,
They
is
can't
that?
really roll off with saying it's made in China. In fact, the government has blocked Chinese companies from entering India.
Really?
Yes, that's the reason MG had to sell majority of its stake to a local player.
Ah,
Right.
okay.
So
That's interesting because they sell really well over here, the MGs.
I can see a lot of them.
Yeah, because they're actually decent cars and they're very good value.
Which is your favorite car?
So I've got a 911 ST. That's my favorite car. So I'm very privileged to be able to own my favorite car.
I heard you have 22 cars with you right now.
I have 12 or 13, but most of them are rubbish, like old cars. So like I've got an old 2002 BMW X5. I've got a 2007 Porsche Cayenne. I've got a 1998 Mazda MX-5.
But if it's rubbish, why do you keep it?
Well, they're kind of like, some people might think they're rubbish, but they are good cars. So the Cayenne, I did a video on it recently when I drag raced my mate Yanni, and it beat his brand new Range Rover Sport, which has the 4.4 litre twin turbo V8. I beat him.
What engine is this X5?
My X5 is a 4.4 V8. My Porsche Cayenne is the 5 litre turbo. My my Mazda MX-5 has a supercharged. I supercharged it, so that's really quick. I've got GR Yaris. I've got two GR Yarises actually. I got the old and the new one.
So on an average, if you have 22 cars and you're road testing,
No, 12. I have 12.
Okay. If you include long-term cars as well.
I don't have a long-term car. Yeah, I do. I have the Mark II GR Yaris. So yeah, I could, at my house at any one time there could be like 20 cars sometimes.
So how many do you get to drive on a monthly basis? Considering you're also doing road tests, you're traveling here
I
and
try
there.
to drive them all at least once a month. I do, yeah. I cycle through them, and sometimes I'll have a brand new, real posh car, and I'll still go and drive my crappy old MX-5, because old cars just have a nice feel to them.
So would you rather choose a new car, which is full of gadgets, tech, or you would just choose an old car, which is full of feel? Which one would you choose?
It depends. See,
That's very political.
Yeah, so it actually depends. So if I just had I used to be a chartered accountant, and if I was a chartered accountant, I probably might have a car like this. Be good for my family, practical, got all the tech in it. But then I'd probably have as a second car a Mazda MX-5.
Okay.
That's probably what I'd do. Or I'd have just a 911, a normal 911.
Not the ST, like a Carrera.
No.
Usually, which car do you end up driving every day?
So, like I said, I cycle through them. Depends what I'm doing and which one I haven't driven for a while. Like yesterday, I went out for dinner with my partner and my daughter, and I've got something called a Toyota Century. Do you know what that is?
Oh, yes, I do.
So I took that.
Okay.
It's beautiful. Love it. And today I've turned up in my GR Yaris.
You're planning to import Jimnys from Japan?
Yeah, and I've got Jimnys. I've got 4 Jimnys which are about to come off the boat from Japan, which I'm going to sell.
Oh.
Not because I want to be a trader, because I want to do a video on can I become a car importer.
What would the kind of price you'll sell it at?
25, 26 grand, but they've got no miles on.
Okay, I can sell you brand new Jimnys for 12,000 pounds.
That's because you get them from India.
And nobody wants to buy them. That's the funny part.
Really?
Yeah, no, it's not selling at all.
Really? The 4-door's not selling?
No, it's not selling.
Really?
And I'll tell you why.
Why?
In India, we have a Jeep Wrangler copy for the same price.
The Thar?
Thar, yeah.
Yeah. So Gang has got one, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. He has the 5-door version, the 4-door version, yeah.
And that's cheaper, isn't it?
It's similar price. In fact, it's more expensive because the higher variants have panoramic sunroof,
okay.
ventilated seats, and all those things which the Jimny doesn't have.
So the Jimny is a car, but it's also an awesome car. So it's great off-road, but I don't drive one off-road. And on the road, you're constantly steering to keep it going straight. It gets blown about by the wind. It's really noisy. It's slow, but it's got character.
It doesn't have power.
Doesn't have power.
So slow. It's too slow.
But I like that in a way because you thrash the ass out of it, you absolutely redline it, and you're still within the speed limit.
That's actually a fact.
I've got a Honda S660. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
So that's a car that has very little power. You thrash the ass out of it, and it feels fast, but you're not going fast. And I like that.
It's more fun to drive a slow car fast than a fast car slow.
Yeah, so there's nothing more annoying than being in the 911 ST behind traffic, or in the GR Yaris behind traffic. Open road, brilliant.
So you prefer manual over automatic?
Manual.
You do?
It depends on the circumstances. So if right now, just driving along, talking to you, I prefer automatic. For going for a drive and having fun, manual.
So yeah, do you like electric cars?
So Yes, I do like electric cars.
You do?
I'm not an electric car hater, but I don't think it's right to ban the internal combustion engine just yet. I think it has life left in it. I think have the right car for the right job. So if you've got a car for just going around town, electric car's brilliant, smooth, quiet, quick, off the mark for nipping in and out of traffic, charging it at home. If you're having to do loads and loads and loads of miles, you want a diesel.
Which is your favorite electric car?
I actually think the best all-round electric car is the Tesla Model 3.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it better than Ioniq 5N?
Yes. Yeah, Tesla Model 3 performance I think is better than Ioniq 5N. Is it as much fun? You can do more things with the Ioniq 5N in terms of like the sound, and the gear change on the Ioniq 5N is really good. And it's really funny that it's slower when you do it through changing the gears,
but you feel fast.
But you feel faster. So we're going to go up here then left.
Yeah.
So whenever I drive that car, I always have it in the paddle shift mode. Yeah, absolutely.
Any shift.
Yeah, and it's good on track. The Ioniq 5N, I took it on track, back to it on track with a BMW M2. Guess which one I had most fun in?
The Ioniq, obviously.
No, the BMW, 100%. It was really good and really impressive, but the BMW was better to drive on track because it's a lot lighter. And while the Ioniq 5 is mimicking this stuff, the BMW is doing it for real. And so, yeah, what's your take on electric cars?
I think, like you said, if they coexist with ICE, they make sense.
Yeah.
But otherwise, banning ICE cars doesn't make sense at all.
Stupid.
No. You know what's the market size for electric cars in India? Just take a rough guess. How many electric cars sold in India last year?
I'll do a percentage of the market. 1%.
So they sold 3.5, 4 million cars last year.
What?
All cars were 3. Total car market is 3.5, 4 million.
Yeah.
EVs alone were 100,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was wrong. It's like go. You're going to get that lane. Sorry, mate. So actually, not as small as I thought. It's like 4 or 5%.
It is small. It is quite small.
So you're going to go round this roundabout and all the way back. Okay.
It's also largely because a lot of fleets are using electric cars.
Same in the UK. So the reason everyone has an electric car here, really, they're not people buying it privately for themselves. You're getting it through a company as a company car because you get a massive tax break like you would not believe. So a car like a Tesla, if I have a Tesla Model 3, the company car tax bill for me would be £750. If I had something with equivalent performance like an ICE car like an M3, that would cost me in tax £17,000.
So you don't own any electric car?
Yeah, I do.
You do? Which one?
I've got a Citroen Ami buggy.
Oh.
I got my mum a Tesla Model 3, but she's selling that, and I swapped it for a Volkswagen Golf R because she needed the performance of the Tesla, but she wanted a petrol car, so I had to get her something with some power, and it's a Golf R.
Because a lot of my audience, especially people who love you from India, they want you to do a Scandinavian flick on the Ami.
On the I will probably roll it.
Definitely.
I'll flip over. It can't go fast enough for a Scandinavian flick. No. Yeah, I love the Ami. It's actually really cool.
And what about the Cybertruck? You've driven that?
Yeah, so this is the interesting thing. There's a lot of hate about the Cybertruck, but back when I went on the launch, if I could have bought one, I would have bought one. But now, knowing what I know, and it's the kind of thing you don't know as a motoring journalist, where it turns out that they've got really bad build quality, I wouldn't buy one.
Your friend has one.
We're going to go left. Yanni has one. Yeah, but he's not allowed to drive it on the road.
Hasn't he shifted to the Middle East?
Has he taken the car to the Middle East?
No, he's shifted there.
No, he hasn't. No. He's not. He's
just playing around.
He is moving out of the UK, but he's considering certain countries. One was Dubai, but the next one is Cyprus, and his family's from Cyprus. I think he's going to go become domiciled in Cyprus.
And when do you plan to come to India?
So
you should come and try out some Indian cars.
I've been to India. I've told you, haven't I?
7 years back, yeah.
Yeah. So I'd like to come to India. I loved it when I went out there. It was like so interesting and vibrant, and the people seem very, very happy.
They are.
They're much happier than the UK.
Is it?
Yeah, I think we're a bunch of miserable buggers at times.
I think the opposite, because where we are staying,
okay,
around Cotswold, all we see people chilling, drinking at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
We don't wrap work by like 10 o'clock.
Yeah, maybe it's the opposite. When I was at India, we were just being looked after, and it was, I don't know. But I would love to come back to India. The only thing that would put me off ever so slightly is the heat. My skin doesn't like heat.
But you can come in the winters.
So what's the winter temperature like?
In Bombay, it's going to be hot still.
Bombay?
Yeah.
Mumbai?
Mumbai, yeah.
Is it true that it was called Mumbai because it was called Bombay because we thought it sounded like Mumbai? Wasn't it always called Mumbai?
No, it was called Bombay earlier, and it got changed to Mumbai.
What was it before it was Bombay?
I have no clue. I wasn't born.
Oh, no.
Maybe you were. If you're coming towards the north of the country, it's cold. So temperatures would be like, it can also go in minus.
Is that Rajasthan and places like that?
Rajasthan, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rajasthan is cold in the winter.
Right, like England cold, like minus, like freezing and stuff. Snow. Do you have snow?
We do have snow.
So you're going to go right here.
We do have snow, but we have snow in areas like Ladakh,
Okay.
Spiti, Manali.
Uh-huh.
Again, these are places not very far
And
away
then the
from
highlands as well, Manali.
yeah, around the mountains. Yeah.
Is it all right if I plug my little book?
Of course.
So if people like watch me and have watched me for years, like reviewing cars and doing drag races and stuff.
I have been seeing you when you were at Car Bio.
Hey, yes, legend. Look, mate, I've got a book coming out.
Okay.
Right, so it's called Autobiography, Matt Watson. It's basically an A to Z of cars where I give my opinion on each and every car manufacturer.
Is Tata there in it?
Pardon?
Tata there in it?
Tata is not in it.
Oops.
But don't worry, Land Rover is. So we've got it covered. It's the same thing. So because we don't have Tatas officially sold in the UK.
They were selling as a City Rover.
Yeah, the City Rover. It was very brief, but we did Rover. So yeah, it's some like insider on like the car industry and like my experience, like when I've been reviewing cars, and my take on my favourite and least favourite cars. So lots of kind of bit of an expose. Should be a lot of fun. So yeah, and it'll be available to buy in India via Amazon, and
it'll also be available as an audiobook.
Yes, it'll be available as an audio book as well. If you want to hear me just witter on.
I've heard you be very aggressive in terms of calling cars rubbish, and you have these 5 annoying things I don't like about the car and all.
Uh-huh.
You get backlash from car brands?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
How do you tackle that?
Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. Then I say it again.
Does it affect opportunities for you?
Yes,
It does.
100%. So certain manufacturers won't lend me cars. Mazda won't lend me cars because I said one of their cars looked like a cat having a poo. Hyundai were problematic with me for a while because I said in the Ioniq 5 that the gear selector looks like a sex toy.
All of us have said that.
Yes, everyone.
And it's still looking like that now today.
Yes, Ferrari won't lend me cars because it doesn't like drag racing, and I've drag raced all their cars. So there's, certain manufacturers give me grief.
I think that was a wrong question. Which car brands like you?
I think Porsche do, but it's easy for them to like me because I like Porsches. So I'm a big Porsche fan. So yeah, I mean, I'll criticise the things I don't like about their cars. Like I don't like the switch to the digital screens. I don't like the front of the new car, the new front end design so much. But the cars themselves are brilliant, and for me, that's my favourite car brand.
But don't you think they're going a step back by removing the iconic bits like the analog tachometer, the switch to turn on the...
Yeah. It's quite interesting because with the GT car, they've still got the little switch to turn it on because Andreas Preuninger was like, no, he has quite a certain amount of sway at Porsche. And so like he says for the GT cars, no, we definitely still want that switch. We'll take the digital dials, but we definitely still want the switch. And he was the one that insisted that when they had the manual gearbox, it was the old-fashioned 6-speed, not the 7-speed that went in the Carrera models. So yeah, it's quite interesting.
But do you think Porsche will be able to sell the 718 replacement, which will be electric?
People will buy it because it's a Porsche.
But it will be electric?
But it'll be electric. But
people are not buying the Taycan.
They are buying the Taycan, but just not in the same numbers that they were. I think people will buy it, but will it sell as well as the Boxster? I don't think so. But I think what we'll see is they're all starting to row back a little bit on their electric car pledges, and we've got this ban in Europe, well in the UK from 2030, no ICE cars.
That's 5 years before Europe.
Yeah, 5 years before. I don't know why we did that, but anyway, no purely ICE cars will be sold. So, and that date might be rolled back because I don't think it's going to be feasible.
Why are people not buying electric cars here? Because in India we have an issue of charging infrastructure.
Same.
Our energy is not clean. We are getting energy from coal.
Same.
and diesels are more efficient.
I mean, I don't. That whole energy from coal, and there's a very small amount of people who are doing it based on that. The main reason a lot of these electric cars got sold was because people bought them through for tax breaks.
Okay.
So they got them for tax breaks, and actually electric cars are really good for certain things. They're blooming quick. They give you a lot of performance.
Just like
they're very quiet.
Just like an electric train, which is quick. But
Yeah, very quiet. Very easy to drive.
But latest generation cars have become super quiet and smooth.
Yeah.
You drive any of these latest generation cars, like even the VW 2-liter engine in maybe a Tiguan or a Skoda Kodiaq. It's so silent.
Yeah, they are quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. As a motoring journalist, one thing I found is there's less for me to discuss about a car because
there is more. Because
I think
see, on an average, a car wow video I think is between 20 to 30 minutes.
Yeah.
80% of your video is talking about the features, the pace, and all those things, and your driving part is like hardly 2 to 4 minutes.
But but actually, when I'm thinking about the car myself as a car fan, I'm really thinking the bit that takes, we'll go left here, that takes a lot of the discerning is how good is the engine and the gearbox interface, how good is the steering feel, how good is the suspension. Now with an electric car, you've taken out quite a lot of the stuff about how good is the engine, how smooth is it, what is the power curve like, how good is the gearbox, how good do the two work together. You've taken that out with an electric car, and you've taken that differentiator out. The only thing that you find is that sometimes the throttle mapping program for certain electric cars can be terrible, so it's a little bit jerky or too squidgy. But other than that, you've taken that differentiation out between brands, which, you know, electric car, they all feel the same in terms of the proportion.
Commodities.
Yeah, exactly.
White goods.
White goods. We're driving white goods.
And do you think that they will be able to pull off a complete ban on ICE? Not 2030, but maybe later?
Yeah, eventually.
Eventually they will?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know about, who knows? Maybe not. It might be rowed back. Maybe we'll have biofuels. I don't know. I don't know. I think it will be pushed back a bit though.
And if you had to choose between Ferrari and Lambo, which car company would you choose?
Well, the answer that I always give to this is Porsche.
No, that's not an option.
Ferrari.
Ferrari? Yeah. Why so?
Because I'm most focused on how a car feels to drive, and while
you've driven the new Revuelto?
Yes, to go to the right.
You liked it?
Yes, I liked it, but I think a Ferrari 296 drives better.
Can you guess the price of the Revuelto in India?
It's going to be insane. So
just what's the price?
£1 million pounds.
Yeah, it is £1 million.
Yeah,
how much is it here?
500.
500. So it's just double.
Yeah.
Do you want to try out cars like Thars and stuff?
Yeah, so if I come to India, I'll definitely drive a bunch of Indian cars for sure.
We don't have too many. We just have 2 brands. Technically 3.
Okay.
Yeah. There's Force Motors. You've not heard of
No.
it. Basically, they do the assembly of BMW and Mercedes engines in India. So they're partners with both Mercedes and BMW. And they are very close to Mercedes. So they make a copy of the G-Wagon, which they call as the Gurkha.
How much is that?
That is approximately £15,000.
Oh, nice. Is it a good copy?
No.
Oh.
So they use the Mercedes engine in the car. But it's very rough. And then the Thar is the opposite. It's extremely smooth, extremely refined. And then they make this bus, which is again based on a Mercedes chassis and the Mercedes engine. It's known as the Tempo Traveler, and it's very popular. It's a bus with a monocoque chassis.
A bus?
Bus with a monocoque chassis.
What do you mean by bus?
A bus is basically a bus. I mean,
you know what a bus is in England? It's like this big thing that everyone, drives in the city with about 100 passengers.
Yes.
Oh,
it can do 30-40 passengers.
Oh, okay.
It's a little smallish bus.
Oh, okay, minibus.
Minibus sort of a thing, yeah.
So I thought you was talking about like a camper van, because that's what they used to call it, wasn't it? The VW bus.
Yeah, no, it's bigger than a VW bus. So VW bus will seat what, 10, 12?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, this one will seat 30-40 people. So that is one brand, and we have Tata Motors.
Oh, I know Tata, obviously, for Land Rover.
Land Rover, yeah. They have a lineup of cars which look very similar. And then we have Mahindra.
Yeah, I know Mahindra because of the Thar.
Yeah, they have the Thar. They have a Scorpio, which is also a very popular car. Yeah, ladder frame SUV, very popular.
My dad used to have a Scorpio.
Is it?
Yeah.
Which Scorpio?
Ford Granada Scorpio.
Oh yes.
Different.
So is there anything you would like to tell the Indian audience?
Anything I'd like to tell them?
Yeah.
Thanks for watching the videos. I see a huge proportion of our views come from India, so really thanks for the support, and keep watching the videos. And if you want to, I'd really appreciate it if you guys check out my book. I've had a load of fun writing it, so it'd be great if you...
How long did it take you to write it?
I've almost finished it.
Almost finished it, but how long did it take you?
It's taken 4 months.
4 months?
Yeah.
That's fast, actually.
Yeah.
I have certain videos that I shot like 2 years back. They're not live yet.
Yeah, but I've got deadlines on this, like proper publisher deadlines, so I've got to hit them. Otherwise, and this is the thing, people go, I'm going to write a book, but you don't get round to it because you put it off. But once you've got it, like the publishing contract in place, and you've got these deliverables, you'll hit it.
Oh. And do you shoot like every day of the week?
No.
Depending on the weather?
Yeah, so most of the time we don't shoot because it's always raining, but you got lucky today. No, so I probably shoot about twice or 3 times a week, maybe twice, 3 times a week. Used to shoot more. Sometimes when I go, like when we'll go abroad and do, like we'll go to America or Dubai or something like that.
Or Japan.
Japan, and I'll shoot for like 5, 6, 7 days solid, and it's tiring. How many days do you shoot for in one go?
We also have something similar. We travel a lot.
Yeah.
So when we are in India, we'll try and shoot as much as possible. But there are way too many drive events happening. And as independent content creators, like nobody else is there on the channel, right? For you also.
Yeah.
So with only one person doing the anchoring, it becomes very difficult.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the problem is the way YouTube works is that people want to see you.
Exactly.
And if you give them someone else,
then the views
they'll be
fall.
like, who's that?
Yeah.
And even if you have 2 presenters, it can be quite hard because people might subscribe for you. And then some other people might subscribe for the other person. And then the people who subscribe for this person, when they get the video view, they'll be like, oh, what? And so it prevents the channel growing so much. So it becomes a bit of a victim of its own success, really, doesn't it? Like you just got to get out there, keep on churning.
So is there a big difference now in terms of people consuming content from, say, publications like, say, Autocar or all those when compared to, say, independent content creators?
So I'm not necessarily an independent content creator. So I used to work on a magazine called Auto Express,
which Carvana owns.
Yeah, Carwow now owns. So I'm in charge. I oversee all the content. So I'm chief content officer at Carwow Group, and we own Evo and Auto Express. So I oversee them. I mean, I don't really get involved in their content at all. I just like budgets and strategy and stuff. You don't have the support of a huge team. I actually at Carwow have quite a big team, but when I do the stuff on my own channel, it's just me and a freelancer. So it's like when you do it.
So how do you manage that?
How do I manage it?
So we do have a big team, by the way.
Oh, do you? How big is your team? How many people?
Around 8 people.
Yeah, it's about the same.
Yeah.
How many videos do you do a week?
In a week, around 3 videos.
So it's the same?
Yeah.
So basically you're me, but Indian, and I'm you, but British.
Yeah.
And older, a lot older, with a lot more wrinkles. How old are you?
You just turned 70, right?
Yeah, I feel like you're more like 80. You just turned 17 with your cap back like that.
No, actually the problem is that we also do a lot of short format content. Do you do a lot of short format
content?
And YouTube shorts and...
Yes. So we have a social team that does that. They'll go out and film stuff bespoke themselves, or they will just do.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Exactly the same. We're basically doing the same job.
All right.
It's exactly the same.
So
this is what you're going to end up looking like after you've been doing it as long as me.
How long you've been doing it?
I've been a motoring journalist since 2001. I've been doing
2001
videos since 2010.
Oh, you're turning 50 this year.
Yeah, I'm old, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm old.
Yeah.
How about you? How old are you?
I am 37.
30, yeah, I thought so, 37. I'll tell you what.
I'm doing this since 15 years.
Really?
Yeah. Not 15, 18 years actually. So I started doing it when I was in school. I used to write about cars on blogs and forums, and then I started a blog, and then started doing website, then Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, something like that. Yeah.
So where's your biggest audience? YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, or where?
YouTube.
Same with me. It's also the best one to monetize as well, isn't it?
Most serious people see it, because with Instagram, people come, they just scroll.
Yeah.
They don't have the recall value for it.
Yeah.
But YouTube people come seriously, they watch.
They watch, and the amount of time that people spend watching. Like, I think I did this calculation on Carwow of, what is it? It was, if someone was to watch back to back all of the amount of minutes watched of our videos, they could have been a Neanderthal.
Wow.
Neanderthals were still about. So That's not a diss of our audience, by the way.
So you shoot one video in one day, like a road test you would shoot in one day?
So it depends. So drag races, I can shoot up to like 7 in a day.
So, yeah, I see a lot of cars parked behind.
Yeah. So I can shoot
Back
7
to
in
back.
a day. Certain videos will take a day. Certain reviews, I can shoot them in half a day. You know what it's like? You give me an amount of time, and if the car's worth it, I'll shoot a video.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what it's like.
And how did you become a motoring journalist? What?
I used to be a chartered accountant. I had a friend who was also a chartered accountant. We hated our jobs, but his wife loved her job, and she was the only person I ever spoke about who really spoke passionately about her job. She was a journalist, and so I thought, I'm going to get a job as a journalist. I got a job on a newspaper, and then because I was into cars as a kid, and you know, I was like the car guy, I found a job that appeared on Auto Express magazine. I thought, I'm going to combine journalism with my love of cars. There you go. That's how I became a motoring journalist.
I take some inspiration from you. Like, I hate fake exhaust. You hate fake exhaust.
Yeah.
So you do the stick of truth. And the place where I shoot, I don't find a stick of truth. So I call them the fingers of truth.
The fingers of truth.
So then I put my fingers in the exhaust and check.
Yeah. That sounds a bit rude, the fingers of truth. Where do you put your fingers, Faisal? Keep them away from me. Don't get checking my exhaust, matey boy.
Thank you so much, for taking out the time. Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
I hope you're liking the weather in Mumbai.
Yes. Yeah, it's beautiful today in Mumbai. I'm going to go out and get some food now.
Yeah. Vada pav?
Whereabouts?
Vada pav. It's a kind of food.
Oh, is it? Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, when I come over to India, you'll have to take me out, all right?
Done.
Okay, and you're based Mumbai, yeah?
Mumbai, yeah.
Yeah, because that's where I'd come into. Okay, brilliant.
Right, yeah.
I'll see you then, probably sometime next year.
Done.
I actually thought about living in India.
You did?
Yeah.
I also thought about living in the UK.
Maybe we could do a swap.
24-hour swap.
Yeah,
I'll do Kava, you do.
yeah, we could do that.
In fact, I met your team on certain international events.
Oh, really?
Yes, I did meet them. So I've always asked, where's Matt? Matt doesn't come. He's a celebrity.
Oh, they say that.
Yeah, they said that, and then
was it Tommy?
I don't know. He
Big
said,
lad.
I don't know. He said this, that I don't do any work. My wife runs a salon. She sold the salon, and now.
Oh, it's Rory. Blonde hair.
Yeah, I met him. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
We met in, I think, Germany or maybe Spain.
Yeah.
For some
that's
Audi
Rory.
drive,
Yeah. Rory's the guy that sorts out all the cars. The cars you see in our drag races, he's organised them.
Oh.
Yeah.
So here's an idea. You should do a reverse drag race maybe one day.
Well, I've done one.
Yeah.
I've done one, and we almost wrote the cars off, because one thing we didn't think about is, if you look at the brakes on a car, where are the big brakes?
Front.
Yeah. You go backwards, the brake bias is all set up for front, and so you have no stopping power.
They do it with electric regen.
Yeah, do it with going backwards. Break the system. All right, and Faisal, thank you very much for having me on.
Thank you so much for taking out the time. Yeah.
Cool. So if you can put a link, do a little shout out, that'd be great. I'd really appreciate it. I'd really appreciate it, mate.
We will just take a photo for the thumbnail. Yeah.
Is the lighting okay for you?
I'll just check that.
That's exactly what he did to you.